So the interesting thing was that we met with pretty much every major minister in Saudi Arabia. We also, prior to that, we went to Abu Dhabi and Dubai to talk about strengthening the Abraham Accords. And just one quick thing about that part of the trip was I got to see in action a delegation of startups from Israel playing a Shark Tank type competition in Dubai before Dubai businessmen and royalty, all dressed in their gowns, and I got to be one of the judges in that just by being there. So
you felt
that was
really welcome.
that was great. That was great. Hearing Hebrew in the whole way was great. So Saudi Arabia, the meetings were terrific. Every one of them said that it's just a matter of when, not if. And that, to me, was a big positive step. They pointed out that all sorts of changes are happening in the kingdom. Women's rights. In fact, we met with some women ministers or deputy ministers, which was amazing. I was there in 1993 at the request of Shimon Peres, right after Oslo, to see whether business could be done between the Arab countries and Israel. So we went to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt and Jordan.
And a lot has changed.
And a lot has changed. Back on that trip, there was an enormous amount of trepidation about moving forward. And
well, spell it out for us. I mean, what would it mean for Israel and for the region, for Saudi Arabia to
Oh my God, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. It is, I'm not a fisherman, but fishermen always talk about the big catch, the big fish that they caught once in their lifetime, or they dreamed about catching, or they took a picture as if they caught. This is the big fish. You said it right. This is the money ball. Saudi Arabia is the ruler of the Arab world. Mecca and Medina are in Saudi Arabia, and they talk as if the other Arab countries are, look to them for guidance. And the feeling we got was that the other Arab countries who already went into the Abraham Accords ran it by Saudi Arabia before they did it. And that is a significant part of the segment.
Now, the Saudi king, King Salman, has always been a very staunch supporter of Palestinian rights and Palestinian statehood. Is he the one, perhaps, who's been holding back, whereas the younger modernizer Crown Prince is the one that wants to push ahead with this?
It's a great question. I don't believe it has anything to do with that. I think it really has to do with there are some forces in the kingdom, and forces being individuals, who are hesitant to make any changes, whether it's women's rights, whether it's flights over Saudi Arabia in order to go from Israel to Dubai or Turkey, all of those things. And some of those forces are bad people. We saw on 9/11, there are some really bad people that existed back then. I think the Crown Prince and the King are taking care of those forces, and the kingdom itself is very anxious to do things with Israel. It's mesmerizing. Every one of our meetings, literally every one, they talked about the when, not the if.
Right, because it's hard to believe that the accords with the UAE and Bahrain were signed just a year ago, and you see the warmth of the relationships, genuine warmth between the two, and we saw the military drill earlier today as well.
Amazing.
And of course, Israel and Saudi Arabia do share a common foe in Iran. They will be watching closely in Riyadh those nuclear talks at the end of the month, won't they?
Every one of our discussions, from the foreign ministry all the way down to other ministers and up, every one of our discussions talked about Iran and the danger of Iran and how it affects all of us, and how they need protection from Iran, that they don't believe that they need to or can do it by themselves. They want to have allies, and Israel, for them, is, just like we say Saudi Arabia is the big fish, for them, Israel is the big fish. Because there's so much they can do with Israel's help.
Interesting times indeed. Phil Rosen, it was great to meet you. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.